Major outages at CrowdStrike have impacted the world. Klaus Schwab made a prediction that something like this could happen soon and gave us a warning about cybersecurity preparedness. Is this the beginning of the 10 days of darkness? We'll discuss all this and more today on the Endtime Show. Welcome to the Endtime Show. Vince Stegall here with Doug Norvell. Today is Open Line Friday, so we're taking your calls. We're talking about whatever you want to. The number to join us is 877-ENDTIME, 877-363-8463. Before we do that, I have a very special guest I want to introduce you to. He won't be here the whole show, but for a few minutes here, we are so happy to have the one and only Draylon Young in the studio.
I am honored to be here. Very honored. I wouldn't call myself the one and the only. I think there's like a few Draylons.
Are there?
Yeah.
There's only one that I know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same.
Well, Draylon, for those of you out there that do not know, is how do we? You're a worship pastor, but you also have albums and recording art. You're a recording artist.
Yes.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, whenever you make songs in America or in the world, they make you an artist. So like it's like if you write a book, like they make you an author. So I guess I am known as a recording artist. Yes. I am a worship pastor. I serve, me and my wife serve in Sterling Heights, Michigan, under originally Pastor Harold Hoffman, but now Pastor Daniel Bernard. And honored to be there. But I'm a native of Dallas. I grew up here under Pastor Hargrove, and obviously very connected to Endtime Ministries, and just honored to be here. This studio is a place that I'm very acquainted with. We used to be here when you guys recorded a lot of Endtime content, and so it's just honored to be here today. So
Doug hosts Bible studies regularly, and he's hosting Keys to Spiritual Growth. Doug,
yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, what you saw in that the other day.
Well, and those of you that are in my Bible study that are out there watching, you've heard me ask before if y'all know Draylon, because Draylon is in those videos. Draylon, you're there in the crowd when they pan through the crowd. You're sitting there with your grandfather and your uncle.
Yes.
And like I told you before, you look like you're about 12 years old in those videos.
Yes, I probably am 12, 11, somewhere in there. Me and my family, we were saved through Endtime. My uncle listened to the radio program for a long time and was one of the catalysts for him to reach out to God and figure out what this whole thing is all about, from a salvation point. And so Endtime has played a very pivotal part in the generations to come in my life. Obviously, I'm married now. I have 3 children, and so wouldn't be here without Endtime Ministries. So very thankful.
There's probably people that are watching today that came here to this facility, this building, and your uncle taught them, because about probably 3 or 4 years ago, he was teaching classes here every Thursday night. I was teaching, your Uncle Rich was teaching, and Dave was teaching.
Yeah.
And so people that came here for those classes know exactly who we're talking about.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And Draylon is back in Dallas because he's holding an event tonight.
Yes.
And I will be there for it. I'm going to help open the doors so people can come in and enjoy. Not just enjoy, but this is not a concert.
No.
You don't really do concerts.
Well, I can't say that I don't do concerts. I have done concerts. I do.
I've seen you do concerts, and it's not like you're out there performing.
No.
You create an atmosphere of worship, and people's lives are changed, and they connect with God, and it's not just there to watch someone perform when you get up.
Yes, I appreciate you saying that.
Absolutely.
No, I'm just a worship leader. I just believe in just trying to whatever. You take that word worship leader. Worship is sacrifice and our heart and posture toward God or towards something. And leadership, as we know it, is just simply influence. And so whatever influence I have it is my job to try to lead people to worship God, the God that changed all of our lives. And so anytime I'm on a platform, have a microphone or singing a song, I definitely want it to be about that. So it is kind of hard to think about, performance, like what we kind of call performance in this day and age. But no, tonight we're going to be doing an event called Altar Nights. This is number 6, I believe. We've done one in Tampa, Florida, Loganville, Georgia, Elk Grove, California, a couple of different spots in Ontario, Toronto, and then there's another place called Stittsville. That was like a 9-hour drive from Michigan.
Michigan.
Yes.
Okay.
Man, we've just been seeing God pour out His Spirit on people, being filled with the Holy Ghost and being baptized in Jesus' name. All it is a community-based worship night where we partner with a church, a local church, and we go there. We use people in that area. It's a free ticket. It's a donation ticket. Like if people want to give, they can. If they don't, we're still going to come and do the event. And the Lord obviously put Dallas on my heart, and reached out to you and Bishop Hargrove to see if it was okay. And so we're going to be there tonight at 7:30. And as of right now, the tickets say that there's 266 people are going to be there. Obviously, with it being a free sort of situation, it could be more or way less. We never know. So there's no commitment with it. But tonight, I really do have anticipation that, I'm praying that prodigals will come. I'm praying that somebody for the first time will be filled with the Holy Ghost, take another step in their walk with God, whether that be lifting their hands for the first time or stepping foot in a church for the first time in a long time. Just whatever it is, I think this night just promotes the idea of us doing the one thing that God created us to do, and that was just to worship Him. So looking forward to altar night number 6 tonight. So.
And you can go to DraylenYoungMusic.com to reserve your spot. Yes. Are there assigned seatings, or is it first come, first serve?
First come, first serve.
So someone could be down on the front row if they got there early enough.
I'm praying that they are down on the front.
But the tickets are free, DraylenYoungMusic.com, and they can get those tickets for tonight, 7:30 p.m., yes, right here in the Dallas area, Garland specifically. But DraylenYoungMusic.com has all the details on the venue, time, everything that they need if you're in the Dallas area. So come out. I'll be there. You'll be there singing. Yeah. You might call me on stage. I might sing one of your songs. Child of God, I'm ready, Dre.
Hey, it's my time to shine. You never know. You just got to show up and see what God has in store.
All right, Dre.
It's the backup singer. I like it.
I've got the groove, man.
Oh,
I'm
I know
ready.
you do. You got the voice too,
I'm
man.
ready.
He's the one that got us going.
You know,
like growing up, he was the one that was leading worship on Sundays, and there you go. In our youth.
I had hair back then.
Yeah, you did.
Bunch of hair.
We had a lot of great time.
He had so much that he had a hair dryer. Like.
Oh my!
That is a lot. That's a lot of hair.
That is.
I don't use a hair dryer.
All right, well, come out tonight. DraylenYoungMusic.com for more details. We love Draylen so much. I had spent hundreds, maybe thousands of hours with Draylen over the years, so we're so grateful he's in town. And like I said, I'll be at his event tonight, Altar Nights, DraylenYoungMusic.com. Get your ticket. Come on out. We'd love to see you there. Starts at 7:30.
Yes.
Thank you again, Draylen. Also, we're going to take open lines. The calls, it's all about you today, so we're going to talk about all the things. We've got a caller right now wanting to know about the Catholic Church's role in the end time. We'll get to that call momentarily. We do have open lines. 877 end time's the number to join us. 877-363-8463. If you weren't following the news, a massive hit to the U.S. dollar just came in June when Saudi Arabia did not renew its 50-year petrodollar deal with the United States. So I ask you, if there is less demand for the dollar, what happens to the dollar? It's reasons like this that Americans turn to Birch Gold Group. For over 20 years, Birch Gold has helped tens of thousands of Americans protect their savings by converting an IRA or 401k into an IRA into physical gold. To learn more, visit birchgold.com/endtime. Claim your free, no obligation info kit on gold. Again, visit birchgold.com/endtime. Birch Gold has earned my trust with their education first approach, thousands of happy customers, and countless 5-star reviews. So protect your savings today. Go to birchgold.com/endtime. All right, Doug.
All right, Vince.
I know we're ready for open line, but we've got a lot to say before we get there.
There's a lot going on. I mean,
Did you wake up today thinking that this was the start of 10 Days of Darkness?
I did not. I didn't even realize what was going on until I made my way to the big city from the little country town that I live in. And so when I got here, I started seeing the headlines of what was happening and found out later that our bank back at home in Kilgore, Texas, where I live in East Texas, that it was closed down for today. Our Brookshire's grocery store was closed because they could not access their computers, as well as the gas pumps there. So needless to say, I got Tina to run out and make sure we got gas here so that we could get back home tonight. But yeah, I had no idea that there were going to be major outages. And Vince, it makes you wonder if this isn't part of something bigger, down the road. We don't know. But I mean, you alluded to, I did not know you were going to allude to that.
I know you like a good surprise.
Man, and a great conspiracy theory. So I didn't know you were going to take it to the 10 Days of Darkness thing, but hey, that's all good, and we can definitely.
Well, that's going around.
I know.
People think this could be the beginning.
And some people may not even know what we're talking about when we talk about 10 Days of Darkness, so they may not understand.
Well, what we do know is that there's major outages with CrowdStrike.
Right.
I had never heard of CrowdStrike before.
And neither had I.
But they're a massive company that apparently controls a lot of things. We know that all airlines are grounded except for, well, all the major ones. I know there's a few smaller ones running, but Southwest, I think, is the only major one that's running. But American Airlines, and I just saw why Southwest is not. Have you seen this?
I have not.
They are still on Microsoft 3.1, which I don't know if that means anything to you or not, but
it sounds like it's probably outdated.
They haven't updated their technology, so all the people that updated are down. So that's why American Airlines and Delta and all those are down. But mass chaos in the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. We've got multiple airports here. They're all having lots of crowds and people are upset and all the things. Of course, Milwaukee, there's a lot of people trying to leave Milwaukee. The RNC has been going on this week.
Right.
Trump was giving his speech.
We talked about the odd timing.
It's very interesting. During Trump's speech last night is when this occurred.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be, there's a lot of things, Doug, that have happened over the last 7 days that are just head scratchers.
I'm telling you. Yeah, very interesting. And it's not just airports. We're talking 911 networks.
Yes.
They said that television stations, television networks, banks, of course I mentioned our bank, and also hospitals were affected by this. So anybody that is using this software is affected by it. Now, I had Brother Craig, he's in my Bible study class, and he now goes to church with us. He is I guess
engineer.
He's kind of a tech engineer, and so he sent me this news story today to kind of help me understand what CrowdStrike was. So
He's also a mean organ player, but that has nothing to do with
He
this.
is a very, very
My
good
word.
organ player. Yes, he is.
He can tear it up.
But he sent this to me, and even though we have an article and I can read the article to you, I still don't understand it. I'll be honest with you. IT is not my strong point. Computers, software, all those things are not my strong field. So Vince, this is probably more along your lines. You could probably explain what this is a little bit better than I can.
Well, I mean, essentially, I will sum it up because people have experienced it. They've got what they call the blue screen of death.
Right, I heard about that.
Our wall's working, Doug.
Right.
So I guess we're good.
It's a blue screen, but it's alive.
There you go. No death there. But servers are down. Communications are down. Lots of things are down, and so things don't function like they normally would. That is the very
And this is not
terms.
just local. This is worldwide.
Globally.
This is globally.
Yeah,
it's
globally. So you might not be able to pump gas at some stations because they are not connected like they used to be. You know, there's not a little, I don't even know what they're called, Doug, but it used to have the flaps and it would turn over and there'd be the new number when you were pumping gas. You remember those?
Yeah, I do.
The dials or whatever it was?
Yeah.
That's not how it operates anymore.
No.
Everything is connected with technology, and you don't realize how there's some people who cannot run their dishwasher today because it's connected with
technology, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, whatever it is.
All these smart appliances, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, and garage doors, whatever it might be, it's causing havoc around the world.
Yeah.
And so that's what everyone basically woke up to this morning. And there's, let's see, I see that CrowdStrike incident is already estimated at $24 billion in losses.
I saw that. I was like, wow.
This is why I tell people we don't have a money problem.
Right.
We need a lot of money to do what we do here, Doug.
Yeah.
We need a lot of money to do what God's calling us to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, Lord, I don't know where all the money is going to come from, but when I see people lose $24 billion in less than a day, I go, wow, Lord, you can provide any amount of money.
Yeah.
I saw that Mike Pence raised, I think it was like $100 million for some effort. It was something crazy. It wasn't $100 million. It was something crazy. He raised boatloads of money to do something he's trying to do. And I'm going, if Mike Pence can raise all that money, you know, he's known as being a pretty vanilla guy, you know, not that exciting.
It got a little bit more exciting with that last election, I guess.
He sure did, but he was still pretty, he's not really a hype man, you know?
Yeah.
And so God can provide anything that we need, but 24 billion loss is unbelievable.
That's
and what's
big.
really crazy, Doug, we've played a clip on this show of Klaus Schwab saying that something like this would happen.
Yeah. And that's what ties it in with Bible prophecy, Vince. And so, you know, let's show that video. I think we had the video. So let's show the video to remind everybody what Klaus Schwab said about a cybersecurity problem.
We all know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack. To use the COVID-19 crisis as a timely opportunity to reflect on the lessons the cybersecurity community can draw and improve our preparedness for a potential cyber pandemic.
So he compared it there, Vince, to the COVID-19 pandemic. He said that this would shadow that, is what he was saying. And there's even articles, I pulled an article from the World Economic Forum that talked about this very thing. And it says that the cyber attack with characteristics akin to COVID-19 would spread faster and further. Well, that's exactly what's happened with this. It makes you wonder what exactly has happened here, because now, you know, as things like this break, Vince, we begin to hear the conspiracy theories come out of the closet, and so
they're already out.
Yeah, we've already
the
heard
Trump
them
assassination,
today.
the
Well,
Biden
that's true.
sickness. Biden
Yeah.
announces he might step down if he came down with a medical condition. He comes down with a medical condition that night. The conspiracy theories are all out already, Doug.
They really are.
And then this happens.
And this already has this CrowdStrike already has ties to world government and world government companies who are part of the WEF, which is very interesting. Now, we hadn't had a whole lot of time, folks, to check into that, so it's right now, all this is just breaking, and there's only so much time in a day, as you know, and we try to get things together so we can come in here and give you information that's going on. So I haven't had a lot of time to check into it, but for the fact that they already had something like this on their page, now this wasn't referring to what happened today, it's referring to what Klaus Schwab was talking about in that video, but it talks about the recovery of such an attack like this would be challenging because it would take care of everything. It would destroy everything that we've got. And I've already told you, in our hometown, one of our major grocery stores is closed down today, so you can't buy groceries at that store if you're used to going to buy that groceries at that store, because they are completely shut down today. Can't buy gas there either. So think about if this was a bigger attack like this, if something, and this is not an attack, don't get me wrong. They say this was like a software problem, but like I said, we're already hearing that it has ties, Vince, to world government companies and world government leaders even. if that's true, I mean, you know, you want to throw in 10 days of darkness there, it makes you wonder if this is a trial run for something like that. Now, of course, I don't know if anybody knows what the 10 days of darkness are. If you
They can search it and get a lot of information.
Yeah, if you want to check that out, if you want to call and talk to us about it or whatever. But it's not something we talk about very much because it is a conspiracy theory. It's not in Scripture. And some people believe that there's 3 days of darkness coming that is in Scripture, but it's in Scripture with the plagues in Egypt. And then it's related to a Catholic Church prophecy. So we don't see that that's going to happen either, this 3 days of darkness that people talk about too. But this cyber darkness in some areas is alarming, and especially when it's global, and especially when it's affecting banking, hospitals, grocery stores, gas, things like that.
Doug, just to highlight, you know, one thing you didn't mention on this post that the World Economic Forum did. The title of that post is what COVID-19 teaches us about cybersecurity preparedness. Now, the part that I want to highlight is it was published on June 1st, 2020. So this is a 4-year-old post.
Yes.
And they warned us, Klaus Schwab warned us that there could be something like this that happens. And at the same time, they want to push the Internet of Everything. They want to push going cashless. They want to push being digital. And then they go, and by the way, you need to have cybersecurity preparedness because this could happen. And so we don't know if it's going to happen, but it could be on the horizon. And there's been people for a long time saying it's going to happen this year, around this time, right before the election, and we don't know what to believe in that regard, Doug.
Right.
People have been saying it, but we can see how this cashless society is leading us to exactly what the Bible said is coming in the last days just before the return of Jesus. And it's like, I want to look at people and go, wake up and smell the coffee. I mean, they've been telling us that, and you still get surprised when crazy things happen like this, and you still go, well, maybe they didn't know about it. And I'm going, they probably haven't woken up and smelled the coffee, Doug, because it wasn't First Cup Coffee, which is the best in the world. It's a Christian-owned Patriot Coffee Company out of the great state of Texas. Klaus Schwab surely doesn't want you to buy from First Cup Coffee. I can guarantee you that. They've got 11 different roasts, each one named after a specific piece of American history, and you can get one of those roasts by going to firstcup.com. Use code Endtime to get 10% off. If you subscribe, you're going to get another 10% off. So go to firstcup.com today, and you'll get 10% off at least when you use code Endtime. Again, we have open lines at 877-ENDTIME, 877-363-8463. All right, Doug, what's next? What do we do?
Well, you know, let's just very quickly, let's talk about this because we didn't get to show a particular video that I wanted people to see on Tuesday because I messed up and I didn't put exactly in the link where it was. But we are experiencing the media saying, right now they're saying things like conspiracy theory that Trump planned the whole assassination thing, that his ear's not really hurt. There's people who said that he didn't really get shot. There's people saying that the mega extremists are to blame for this. There's a senator who says, well, I'm praying for former President Trump and hope he makes a full recovery. The extremists from the MAGA regime has brought us to this moment. And so I just wanted to show you guys, remember, we've talked about before how after impeachment tries, after indictments, after convictions, all these things, and now even after an assassination, you do not see the MAGA Republicans or Republicans in general taking to the street, burning the streets, tearing things up, getting in people's faces. We're not reacting that way, but that's what they want you to believe. It's because of our rhetoric and because of the way we act as extremists that these things are happening. So do we have enough time to show that clip, guys?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's do it.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country
is white men, most of them radicalized to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look, as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
This way. That's it right there. Pull it up.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
So that's not the right that's doing that. That's not conservative Republicans. That's not mega extremists calling for all this violence. And we've seen it happen over the last 4 years. We've seen it get worse. It's been longer than that, really. But, I mean, Maxine Waters is the one who's been saying that there are, like, these groups of Trump supporters up in the mountains preparing for war. And I think that that's really what they thought was going to happen after this assassination attempt, but it didn't happen. It's because that's not who we are.
All right, we're taking your calls. The number to join us is 877-ENDTIME, 877-363-8463. We'll be right back.
A voice spoke to me and said, I've got something I want to show you. I was so sure God had talked to me. And I was stunned by what I saw.
A direct fulfillment of this over 2,500-year-old prophecy. The United States will stand with Israel.
Why haven't I ever seen this before?
1/3 of humanity will die. What do these beasts symbolize?
The lion, the bear, the leopard.
The combined beast from Revelation 13 represents the end-time government of the Antichrist. Understanding the end time.
Now streaming on Endtime Plus and available to order at endtime.com/UET. Go to endtime.com/UET or call 800-ENDTIME.
What if you could understand Bible prophecy? Dave Robbins, the host of the Endtime Show's TV and radio programs, is holding a free prophecy conference near you. Gain peace and understanding about what the Bible says concerning end-time prophecy. Call 1-800-ENDTIME or go to endtime.com/events to see when Dave will be in a location near you.
Welcome back to the Endtime Show. Vince Stegall here with Doug Norvell. We have open lines at 877-ENDTIME, 877-363-8463. Don't forget to go to endtime.com/summer. There's a number of deals there, including our latest Understand the End Time series that Dave just put out. The DVD series is available for a donation of any amount, and the book is available. Every book purchased this month is going to be personally signed by Dave Robbins. So those two plus a lot more deals available at endtime.com/summer. Go take advantage of it while the deals last. Doug, we didn't get a chance to really respond to that clip that was played But I'm sitting over here feeling all gross listening to all that. I'm going, YouTube said our content was harmful, and that stuff happens on all, I mean, you saw the logos, CNN, and a lot more than just CNN. It wasn't just CNN, but there's a lot of different clips there, and it's really disturbing, to be honest with you, that mainstream media is pushing that type of, I guess that type of language, that type of...
Just call it rhetoric, because that's what they call it, rhetoric. And that's their rhetoric that they're saying out there, and they promote it for their side. But if anybody, you know, from the other side of the camp say something, you know, it's the most terrible thing they've ever heard in their life. But, you know, I mean, just like when they try to say Trump said that there was going to be a bloodbath if he wasn't elected, he wasn't talking about a bloodbath in the streets of America. He was talking about a financial bloodbath with, you know, Mexico and being able to do all this stuff with the automobile industry and things, jobs being taken away from the United States of America. So anyway, that's just how this works. I mean, we're seeing that happen more and more. There's people, I mean, when these reporters, one of those ladies that was in one of those clips there, I watched a video of her earlier, and she said, we don't even know if Trump was really shot. Tell him to take the Band-Aid off. You know, let us see some doctor's reports, and let us know what's really going on here. Was he even really wounded? I mean, I saw the picture of the bullet whizzing by his head, saw him go to the ground, saw him get up with blood all over him. I don't think that he went down there and put some ketchup on him. I think that looked like real blood to me. But she talks about the photo op that he was given, a 9-second photo op. It was a photo op, all right, but it wasn't like he created that photo op. I mean, he said, let me talk to the people for a minute. The people that he talked about that didn't panic and didn't run and didn't stomp everybody to death trying to get out of there. They were brave, and they were watching and with bated breath to see what was going to happen with their leader. And when he stood up and said, fight, 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 that was an iconic moment, and somebody got a picture of that. Well, you know, I'm sorry that happened, but they also tried to say that it's the same thing now that Biden has COVID. Same lady said, well, Biden has COVID, and if Biden recovers from this COVID, it's the same thing as Trump recovering from an attempted assassination. Mm-hmm. That to me is ludicrous, and it's crazy. I mean, that is like mentally wrong for somebody to say something like that. Trump got shot. Biden's got a cold. So, anyway.
All right.
Don't get me going, Vince.
Well, it's open line, Doug, so it's going to be someone else's fault if you get going today.
All right, here we go.
By the way, we missed Doug so much yesterday. We had a great show. A lot of people enjoyed the show, Doug.
Yes.
But I can tell you, I love Derek. I love Darren. They were on with us yesterday. But you were greatly missed, and everyone out there always misses when you are not here. So
I think they like us as a team there, Vince.
Well, but
everywhere I go, everybody tells me, I love you and Vince.
Nonetheless, put
when he interrupts
Doug
you,
in the comments. Put Guru in the comments. Show him how much you love Doug Norvell and all that he contributes. We appreciate him so much. Also in that clip, Doug, there was a curse word that made it through that we did not intend for, and so we apologize if that if you heard that. I know it slipped by some of you.
I think that was President Biden that said that, wasn't it?
I don't know who it was,
I think
but
that was.
I don't recall. But nonetheless, our apologies for that. We are ready to go to the phones now, Doug. We're going to start in Florida. Start with an easy question. Jeremy's going to bring it to us. Jeremy, welcome to the Endtime Show.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Going good. How are you, sir?
Doing good. I can check you guys off the list now. I got to talk to Dave last week, and I get to talk to you guys, so I think I'll run the gauntlet, so I'm excited for that. Just before I get my question here, a quick comment about what's happened today. This is the reason us as Americans should never give up on cash, because I'm in Jacksonville, and right now they're going to do a event here at the arena, and they may have to cancel it now because everything at the arena is digital. Parking, to pay for parking is digital, to buy food and concessions is digital, and I'm pretty sure everything's down. I don't even know if they're going to do anything tonight. So, again, another good reason why you should stick with cash. So,
there you go.
Lesson learned.
Yes, sir.
So I actually have two questions. The first question I have is about the Catholic Church's role in the end time. So I'm trying to teach what I've learned. I got the DVD set, the Understanding the End Time series. It's a great series. I encourage anyone who hasn't got it yet to get it. It is really an eye-opener. It's full of a lot of great information. Dave and Mr. Irvin did a great job on that DVD, and I'm starting to watch it now for the second time and going back and just making notes and things. But in regards to the Catholic part of it, I know there's certain parts of the Bible where it's talking about the Mother Church and its children and things. I've had some people ask me about it. I don't really know where to look for it. So I was hoping you guys help me with that. The second question I have, just as a curiosity of a question here, I know you guys say that everything in everything's not in order. Okay, so it's everything's not in chronological order. And I was wondering if there was anywhere I can find it in order. Is there anywhere like on your site, or is there a video I can reference where you guys put it in order from the start to the end with Scripture? That way, it's just easier for some of us who are trying to teach it. Just wonder if you guys have that or not.
I tell you what, Jeremy, if you will email me, I will send you a timeline that will help you teach it. We've got a couple of different timelines I can send you, but there's also a video, I think it's called The Final 7 Years. Is that the name of it?
Well, the one I was thinking of, Doug, is The Future. Dave just produced this, The Future According to Bible Prophecy.
That's a good one, yeah.
Are you already on End Time Plus, Jeremy?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I kind of have an idea of what you guys are going to announce. I was going to ask a third question, but if I'm right, I don't want to ruin it for you guys. So,
I'm good at not answering questions.
Yeah, I was hoping that maybe you guys eventually would put an app out, an End Time Plus app where we can download to our phone or to our computer, and we could just click on the app and open
Jeremy,
up the stuff.
I have great news for you. We published an app in January of 2020. So it is out there and ready to go right now.
Awesome.
We're going to give you free access to that. There's a lot of free content on there already, but we're going to gift you with access to the whole thing. So when we're done here, stay on hold and we'll get your email and set you up with that.
Oh, awesome. God bless you guys. God bless you guys.
Absolutely. So the future is what you'll want to look up when you get access to End Time Plus. Dave does a great job of walking us through where we're at right now and what all we're going to go through in chronological order. Now, it's not exactly Revelation in chronological order, but it is the events of the end time in chronological order. So Doug might have more to add in that he would email you, but the future is a great video to go to on End Time Plus.
Yeah, that's a fantastic video. What I would do is I will just get you those timelines. If you'll email me, I'll send you a couple of timelines that'll help you. We have an interactive timeline that's really good that you can use when you're teaching. And then also, just to answer your question, so the thing is, what you're asking about the Catholic Church's role in the end time, the Revelation 17 and 18 is where you're going to find that, okay? This is Mystery Babylon the Great is actually Rome and the Vatican, okay? And it's told to us in those videos. They go through it and they talk about it a little bit, but we're told in Revelation 17 a bunch of different clues about who the woman is. But there's a woman that it says, with whom the kings of the earth had committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with her wine of fornication. And it says that this woman sat upon a scarlet-colored beast with the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So that's verse 3 of chapter 17. And that beast that she's riding on is that one world government beast. It also gives you understanding that the woman is clothed in purple and scarlet. Those are the 2 ruling parties' colors within the Catholic Church. Bishops wear purple, cardinals wear scarlet or red. And so that is her 2 ruling parties. It also says that she is decked with gold and stones and pearls, and she has a golden cup in her hand full of the abominations of filthiness. It goes on to say that the woman is a city that sets on 7 hills. And if you know anything about Rome, it is called the City of 7 Hills. But it says also that the blood of the saints are on her hands. The Catholic Church has killed more saints in her history, and more people for the cause of Christianity than anybody else. But the woman also is over many waters, and it says that those waters there are peoples and nations and tongues. So she's a ruling class over that, but she's a woman. And in the Bible, when it speaks of a church, it speaks of a true church is like a virgin bride, but a false church is a harlot. And that is what this is describing, a false religious system of the end time that will be hand in hand with that world government beast. This is also why in Revelation 13, when we see the second beast that's talked about there, it says that second beast looked like a lamb, which we know Jesus is the Lamb of God. So this second beast looks like a lamb but speaks as a dragon. So that is going to be the false prophet. And that false prophet, it will be whoever the Pope is at the time the Antichrist is revealed. And so that's where you'll find those things. So in Revelation 13, when it talks about the second beast, it's talking about the false prophet. The false prophet will be the leader of this institution that's called Mystery Babylon, and that is in Revelation 17 and 18. Does that help you out there, Jeremy?
Yes, completely. And I just want to speak this real quick, just kind of put it out in the world, because I was thinking about it the other day. As I'm watching this DVD set about Irvin Baxter, and he's going back and telling the stories of how he figured this stuff out and how God talked to him, I hope you guys eventually one day do a biopic on him. I'm not even joking. Like, I think that would be the one of the coolest things to do is just there's a biopic on his past and how he got to where he was, and that would just be so insightful. It'd be something I would definitely watch. I'm sure a lot of the end timers here would love to watch that on End Time Plus one day if you ever make it.
We hope to do that, Jeremy. It is one of the things on my list. And when he passed, I said we've got to do something like that. So that is a hope of ours. Thank you for the suggestion. Thank you for your call. Stay on hold. We'll get your email address and get you set up on End Time Plus. God bless you, Jeremy. There are a few open lines. 877 End Time is the number to call. We're so close to a break. I don't want to bring anyone else on and have to cut you off. Doug, again, we missed you yesterday. We talked a little bit about fear. We talked a little bit about contentment and entitlement and things like that. In Darren's book, we got all over that type of conversation yesterday. And so today we're talking about the cyber attacks and all this stuff, more things that induce fear, but we don't have to have fear, Doug.
Right.
Because we're trusting on Jesus. He's our source of hope and peace and understanding and all the things. And so it doesn't matter what come our way. I just want to remind you one more time that Jesus is our one source of all those things, and we don't have to look to man or our phones or technology. Put Jesus is my one source in the comments if you believe that. We'll be right back after the break.
They that understand what is taking place will instruct many.
Except a man is born again, he can't enter or see the kingdom of God.
I don't care what label you've been given or what label you've given yourself. You are essential. You still matter.
This is a journey, and when we get to the other side of that, that's where our prize is. That's where our reward is.
End time is not going anywhere.
Welcome back to the End Time Show. Vince Stegall here with Doug Norvell. We're so happy you've joined us. It's Open Line Friday, so we're talking about whatever you want to. And we are going to go to Texas now. Gwendolyn is watching there. Gwendolyn, welcome to the End Time Show. Gwendolyn,
Hello?
Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. What's your question
Hello.
today, Gwendolyn?
Okay, great. Oh, gosh, I have several, but I don't know if I can get to them, so I'm going to try to go real quick. It's been a minute since I've been able to reach you guys. Okay, so much is happening here. I tell you the truth. I wish I was a talking person. Okay, I know the last 3.5 years, that's when, what is it, the covenant of peace is supposed to be confirmed by the Antichrist. But I was reading something, and, oh gosh, I wish I had it. It was like indicating the last 7.5 years, I don't remember seeing that in Revelation. I thought it said in the last 3.5 years, that's when he will confirm the covenant with, I guess, Palestinian and Israel. Is that correct?
Well, that's when the final 7 years starts. At the beginning of that is going to be a peace agreement between Israel and the Palestinian people, and that's what starts the final 7 years. And in the middle of that final 7 years is when he causes the abomination of desolation and stops the animal sacrifices. That is what triggers the final 3.5 years, which is the Great Tribulation.
Okay, yeah. Well, remember a couple of years ago, and I don't know who it was, someone over there in the Middle East, but someone was talking about the peace agreement, but everybody was saying, even you guys would say, well, no, this is not the one. But, I think it was, I don't know which country it was, but they were, come up with an agreement with Israel for peace and so forth, but it didn't have anything to do with the Palestinians. But this particular agreement you're talking about, this is one specifically for the Palestinians, correct? And how will you know when the last 7.5 years, not 7.5, when the last 7 years have begun? Because I really think that.
So we're going to know whenever there is that peace agreement between Israel and the Palestinian people. It appears as though, even though some of the headlines today are saying that Israel says there will never be a Palestinian state, not today, not tomorrow, not ever, they said. That was a breaking story that happened yesterday. The Knesset said we will not give them a state, but they're going to get international push from the international community that is going to really force Israel into this peace agreement. That's why we've always believed that there's going to be the war first. So we're going to have that sixth trumpet war that we talk about, World War III, that's going to kill 1/3 of mankind. And we believe out of that war will come this forced peace agreement between these two peoples, the Palestinians and the Israelis. And there will be a two-state solution there where the Palestinians will get the West Bank, what is known as Judea. And so they're going to get Judea and the settlements, the settlers that live there. Those are the ones that Jesus is talking about in Matthew 24:15 when he says, when you see that abomination of desolation, let those who be in Judea flee, because there'll be Jews living under a Palestinian authority there that will need to get out, because that's where the Great Tribulation starts. And so we'll know when this starts, when we see that peace agreement. We see Israel being given the opportunity to build her temple on the Temple Mount, and it'll be a sharing arrangement. And it'll really be more of a sharing arrangement than just the Jews and the Muslim people. It'll be, they consider that mountain a holy place for all people. So I believe that there's going to be something up there for the Christian people as well. I don't know that for fact, but it's going to at least be accessible by Christians as well, because in that Abraham Accord that we talked about, that was a few years ago when Trump was in office and he initiated that, one of the clauses in there is that every religion should be able to worship on that mountaintop as long as they are being respectful to the other religions there. And so it's going to be a shared agreement there. So that's another one of the things that we're going to see. And it's probably going to be placed under like a UN authority or someone like that, a global authority, to where it's not Muslim versus Jew, but it's going to be like a worldwide authority there over that Temple Mount to kind of keep the rule of law going on and who does what. And so we're going to have to see those kind of things. We'll have to see that temple being started. Then we'll know we're in that final 7 years. But we'll for sure know that we're 3.5 years into it, because the Antichrist will be revealed at that time when he stands in that rebuilt Jewish temple, when he proclaims that he's God.
All right, Gwendolyn, thank you so much for your call and your questions. We appreciate it very much. God bless you. We're going to go to Michigan now. Pat is watching there. Pat, welcome to the Endtime Show.
Hi, you guys. This is a question on our national security and dovetailing into the Revelation 9 war. Just wanted to pick your brains on the implications of this outage relating to our military readiness. I guess that's all I have to ask. And, well, the connection between the Revelation 9 war.
That's a very good question, Pat. And the thing is with everything being electronic now, I'm not sure how this will affect the military, but it would, if it's going to affect one military, it's probably going to affect all militaries, because I would think that they're all using the newest technology. I have not heard anything, since this is a breaking story today, I haven't seen anything that there's problems in our military. I don't know if they would let us know that anyway if there was, but
no, probably not.
You know, since we rely so heavily on technology, I would think that the technology that our military uses, the technology that other countries' militaries use, will not have this type of technology in it to where it can be, you know, controlled or manipulated from an outside source, I would think. But I don't know enough about it, honestly, to be able to sit here and talk to you about it, you know, with any kind of expertise, because I really don't know for sure, and I would have to check and see what kind of stories I could find about that affecting it. But it does seem like it could be a worldwide thing. Now, I know last year our military did a drill, and it was a drill that had something to do with this, where we would have our military stretched out all across the globe, and they were seeing how they would communicate in certain situations. So they might have actually been training for a scenario just like we've got going on right now, but I don't know that for certain.
Yeah. And my husband's a naval veteran. Way back when we were actually, with the 73 war, I was actually teaching at Pearl Harbor, and boy, did they shut that base down. Mm-hmm. And I was wondering if, you know, during the Arab-Israeli war, I was wondering if any military people have gotten any, if we're on high alert even. I would assume we would be.
I would absolutely think that would be necessary for all nations to be on high security alert right now. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to, that was on my heart and mind. I just wanted to thank you guys. Thank you so much for what you guys do. It's just a blessing.
Well,
and
thank
I am
you.
On Endtime Plus.
All right.
Thanks so much, Pat. We appreciate it very much. Doug, you mentioned that the military would be on the latest technology. Well, we know they are probably on technology more advanced than what we have access to.
Yeah,
but on top of that, we do know that they communicate via satellite as well as necessary. Mm-hmm. So they have the satellite phones. They are able to communicate when cellular phones do not work. So if there is military communication problems, we're not aware of it.
Right.
You would think that would even be leaked or suggested, because that typically comes out. I haven't seen a thing about that, so I think that's the best we can do on that particular question, Doug. All right, we're going to go to Tennessee now. John is watching there. John, welcome to the Endtime Show.
Good afternoon. Get back, two of you are back together. That's good to see.
It feels good.
I'm agreeing with you on the fact that the military is probably going to be involved in that, because they'd have to figure a way to go over that kind of capability to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, however, how extensive this is across the country. I know our system is not messed up. Our internet's fine. All that's good, so nothing like that. And I can't see any reason that the days of darkness should bother us, to tell you the truth.
Might be a good thing, actually.
I think that 10 days of darkness, if people want to really know about it, and if they'll time it from like about 9 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning or something, whenever it comes out, it'll be dark half the time, and then the rest next day it'll be dark again. And if you put two of them together, that's a whole day.
There you go.
There you go.
So there you go. You got your days of darkness, which takes most of a month to get there.
So practical, John.
Absolutely. Hey, that Jeremy sounds like a real goer. I was wondering whether he knowed it, or did you ask him if he had gone through Jerusalem Prophecy College?
I didn't ask, but it sure sounds like he has.
It did sound like it, but he should have already had the understanding of the end time if he did. That's what got me. So, Jeremy, if you haven't gone through Jerusalem Prophecy College and you're still listening, go for it. Go for it.
Thank you for that, John. You always encourage everyone to do that, and we appreciate it. We feel the same way, and it's actually part of the summer sale. So thanks for bringing that up, John. At endtime.com/summer, you can access Jerusalem Prophecy College courses for only $33 a piece. So go to endtime.com/summer to check that out. Highly recommend Jerusalem Prophecy College, of course. We're going to get one last call in here. We're going to go to New York. We can squeeze in the Joe Show. Everybody put Joe Show in the comments. Joe, welcome to the Endtime Show.
Hey, it's good to hear some sane voices.
Well, it's good to hear your voice,
that
Joe.
All of these leftists are demon-possessed. And I've been a little upset today because I was on the phone with my younger brother, and he's calling Trump Hitler, and we got into a heated argument, and I had to hang up because I was very upset. But the more I see how people are deceived about what is real and what has taken place over the past 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, it's like people are like blocking out reality because they don't like Trump's personality, and they're not looking at the issues, and they're listening to this puppet in Washington who's half brain dead, and they're not looking at what has happened since he's been in office. Everything has gone downhill. It's like they're blocking that out because they hate Trump's personality. That's insane.
Right.
That's insane. And they're not looking at reality like you spoke earlier. You know, people are wondering if he really got shot and this and 100 other things. I think demonic forces are affecting people's thinking. What do you think? How are you guys dealing with people that hate Trump? If you hate Trump, that means you want the Democrats to stay in power? That's insane.
Well, you know, Joe, I mean, there was a lot of people on social media after Trump was shot that said some pretty horrible things, saying things like, you know, next time if you're going to take a shot at Trump, please practice, and, you know, next time don't miss, insane. And things like that. It's a shame because so many people hate him so much, and there's people that I know that proclaim to be Christian that hate Trump that way, that wish Trump would have got shot. I don't wish that upon anybody. And so, you know, I mean, I worry and I'm sad for President Biden because I see what so many people are having a hard time seeing, that this man has some mental problems going on and there's capabilities he doesn't have anymore, but yet they're pushing him and pushing him out there. So anyway, we need to have empathy for the situation that's going on, and the devil is very much alive, Joe, in this situation.
Doug, you know, we are desensitized to death, and there's a big conversation to be had around abortion with that, but as you can hear, we're out of time, so unfortunately we can't dive into that anymore today. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back all week next week, every day, 3 p.m. Central Time. In the meantime, you can go to endtime.com and watch.endtime.com for thousands of hours of content that's there for totally free because of incredible partners like you that give every single month at endtime.com/give. Become a partner today. We'll see you right back here on Monday at 3 p.m. God bless.